Barbieheimer double feature that is now available if you want to go see some movies this weekend. And if you hit an AMC theater, Andy, they are selling a Barbie Corvette that is also a popcorn bucket with a doll included. So you get popcorn, you get the Corvette popcorn bucket and the doll for a tidy $64.99.
Is the bucket plastic or paper?
I think it's plastic. Looks plastic.
So
Okay.
you can take it home, you can wash it,
Well,
you can use it again.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're basically paying about what it would cost to get that Barbie doll, to get some type of bowl or apparatus that Barbie would hang out in, and some popcorn. Like, it actually starts sounding not that inexpensive if the container is reusable.
Are you a souvenir? Are you like a commemorative blank guy? Hey, let's go get the thing that's sold in the thing.
I would be, except, she's going to feel thrown under the bus. My wife hates things that feel like clutter, and clutter is largely defined as things that I would collect that she wouldn't. That's the definition of clutter.
But something that she would enjoy with Green Light Go.
Oh, we have cabinets of barware that she just thinks is pretty.
I've never met your wife, but I feel like she and I would get along quite well. Because if she's a fan of barware and, hey, if I don't like it, it probably needs to go, we're 2 for 2 so far.
Well, it's a lot of barware, and it was...
Like glasses or
yes,
like
glasses.
Okay.
No, all glasses.
Yeah, okay.
Just glasses she thinks are pretty. What was really funny, though, is we moved around this time last year. It's why I didn't play in last year's softball game. The moment, because every time she brought up new barware, I'm like, where are we going to put this? We don't have the space for it. We will never use all of this. Like... We would need to have like a cocktail party of 60, 70 people in order
to have like 70 martini glasses or something?
We've got a lot of certain glasses, and she kept...
What's the leader in the clubhouse? What do you have the most of?
Wine glasses. Different type of wine glasses. The moment where it dawned on her that I was right was when we had to pack all of this stuff up, and she went from, I'll take care of the barware, this is my baby, I don't want you to, I need you to do it, I'm having a break. Like, she was having like an anxiety breakdown over just having to box all of this.
Are the wine glasses because this is pretty, this is like a piece of art basically, or I like to have my Riesling in a Riesling styled wine glass?
No, pretty. All about pretty.
Okay.
It's 100% about pretty.
I could get with this.
But it was a lot of barware to pack and unpack.
Also,
but it's not clutter.
No,
it's not clutter in the slightest.
But my baseball cards would be clutter.
The DVDs that I have, clutter.
You still have DVDs?
Yeah.
Do you watch them?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I like having like books. My books, clutter. Those are clutter.
All right.
All right. That is clutter.
Bring that in. I want to read that.
Okay.
AMC also announces that they're going to put new seats in the front row of their theaters that can recline all the way back so you do not have a bad front row seat or view. Lying flat on my back in the front row actually sounds worse than sitting in the front row.
It doesn't sound like a better angle, and if I go to a theater in a seat that reclines that far back, I'm asleep.
Sounds like a young person thing, right? A young person thing would do that.
Even when I was a teenager, I don't want to sit in the front row of a movie theater. That sounds awful.
It's the worst.
There's a reason those are the only seats that are available at popular movies, is because no one wants to sit there lying on your back because the seat goes back. Hard pass.
You're going to get a janky ankle that way.
Tony Bennett died this morning at the age, I believe, 96 years old. Tony Bennett, dead at 96. Tony Bennett fan?
I mean, I don't listen to him regularly. He was obviously really talented. I enjoy him when I hear him, and I thought the later part of his career was really interesting because, like, he started working with contemporary artists.
Like Lady Gaga, right?
Lady Gaga.
Amy
Winehouse. Like, he had been, I was just reading about him in one of the obituaries. He had a real career fall, like, between bad album sales, drug habit, bad divorce. And in the 80s, his son started managing his career. And I think his son was savvy enough to realize, like, we need to make you more contemporary. He did in the mid-90s an MTV Unplugged. Remember when they did those series of Unplugs?
I remember that.
Yeah, Tony Bennett did it. That was
singing a cappella?
No, he was like a band and stuff like that. You know, you're unplugged, but you still have instruments.
Okay.
And that was a big part of him having a resurgence. It was right around that time, too, where, like, swingers and lounge music in general was coming back.
I'm always incredibly impressed and intrigued by those people that transcend their generation. Tony Bennett did, right? Like Tony, my kids would know who Tony Bennett is. Not that they're listening to his music, but they would know who he is. They know who Frank Sinatra was. They know who those, like, to be able to be that guy is extraordinary.
Johnny Cash had something
Johnny
like
Cash
that. Like
is a good one.
in the 90s, he started working with Rick Rubin, the producer of the Beastie Boys and Run DMC, Aerosmith. And he started doing, Johnny Cash's late work in his career is phenomenal. It's some of the best work he ever did. And I remember when I first started hearing about him working with Rick Rubin, I'm like, Johnny Cash and Rick Rubin?
Yeah, he covered a Nine Inch Nails song, which is
Hurt.
really good.
His cover of Hurt is amazing.
Really?
His cover of I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty's really good.
I've heard that.
He did a great version of Rusty Cage, I think it's called, by Soundgarden. That it's really he did phenomenal work late in his career.
Team USA debuts tonight against Vietnam in the Women's World Cup. I believe the match. Soccer is a match.
Yeah.
Andy. It's not a game.
Are you watching that instead of Messi?
6 o'clock. I was just going to say, like, it's not a men-women thing. For me, it's a soccer thing. I'm good. Go USA. You know, I hope we win. Hope we win the whole thing. I hope there's a celebration. But as far as making sure I'm in front of a TV at 6 o'clock, I don't know.
I'm so indifferent. I don't even care if the USA wins. Like, I didn't even know this was
They get into the
happening.
final of the World Cup. You guys watching at least a second of it?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Here's the answer, actually. Am I working the next day here? That actually is the answer.
Right?
We won't know until for another couple weeks or so.
If we get to the finals, even that semi, I'll watch. I'll have an understanding of what happened in the game. Does that count?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could break it down, but
I couldn't either, but I'll
know
watch
who
it,
had
yeah.
the winning goal.
Yeah, of course.
I will see that. I will know if it went to PKs or not. I don't need to see Messi do a exhibition against a non-national team in a league that is, third rate? What's MLS? Like, globally speaking, soccer.
like third or fourth.
Is it the third or fourth best league in the
I
world?
think so, yeah.
Something like that? That sounds right. Slam Ball, back tonight on ESPN. That I'll watch. That is unreal to me.
I am more likely
You're going
to
to
watch
watch Slam Ball before you watch the Women's World
I'm not
Cup?
a soccer fan.
Really? Not even the World Cup?
100%.
Not really. Like, remember when the
You
World
too, Andy?
I will. Okay, full disclosure, I'm probably not going to watch either. But the one that I'm more likely to watch is Slam Ball, and it's not even close.
Really?
Like when the World Cup was playing this last, I guess it was in the fall in Qatar.
Yeah.
Like when we were talking, I don't.
No, Travis
Doesn't
and I
move
were
me.
the two guys who had no idea
it
what was
doesn't.
going on.
I don't, and I'm not like, oh, it's stupid. You can't.
Do you ever watch English Premier League?
No.
Okay. That's not your thing.
It's just not my thing. It's bullfighting.
It's a great
or
sport.
It's
just doesn't appeal
rodeo.
to me.
It's just
All right.
I don't get it.
Speaking of not your thing, I have a question about something you guys were talking about earlier. Do you want to play the Super
Let's
Stager
do
first?
the Super Stager with a little Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
But only grows stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, so Ireland's got a question.
Yes.
Something
All right.
that's
So
not my deal.
you guys were talking about whether or not you might go to the Barbie movie.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that separates Mason and I. Mason will go to any movie. Doesn't matter what the
All the
subject
movies,
is.
as many as I possibly can.
Are you Barbieheimer this weekend?
I'm Barbieing tomorrow and Oppenheimering Sunday.
Now, Trav, you and I are similar in many, many ways. I'm assuming this might be another one.
Okay.
I would actually pay money, and the question is, how much, to not have to go to the Barbie movie. Okay. Are you the same as me?
No.
If I say to you,
aggressively anti-Barbie.
Okay, if I say to you, tomorrow night, rare Saturday night off.
Yes.
You have to go to the Barbie movie.
Okay.
Okay. If you said that to me, I'll say right now, the number I'm thinking, $50 if you go instead of me.
Oh, I have to go in your place?
Yeah.
Who am I going with?
Whoever you want.
Yeah, I'd go.
You'll sit through it for. Is Barbie 3 hours or
No,
just
it's 2
Oppenheimer?
hours.
No,
it's under 2.
It's under 2
It's
hours.
under 2. It's an hour.
Oppenheimer's 3 hours, but Barbie's under 2.
I want to see Oppenheimer.
152.
Yeah.
Mace, is the reason this is such a big deal is we don't know when the next movies are coming out because of the strike?
Because there's movies through the rest of the summer. And eventually it'll affect us. But for right now, I think
there's a lot of stuff in the can.
Yeah, rarely do 2 movies of this caliber come out on the same day. It's very rare. Oppenheimer's going to be nominated for an Oscar. Barbie is going to do $150 million, and Barbie could be nominated for Oscars. Yeah, production design stuff like that.
Now there's like 10 movies in every category.
Is it because they're so wildly different too that the connection is there?
It's
that
fun.
One is about nuclear annihilation, and the other one's Barbie.
Yeah, one's a bomb and the other one's a bombshell.
Wow, it should be on the posters.
That's the tagline.
Well, and she was, and Margot Robbie was in Bombshell.
Oh, that's right. She was.
Yeah. So, 50 is maybe slightly low to go in your place.
Okay.
100 is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I would probably. No, I'm not giving. I would sit to it for 100. I'll do anything for 100. But 50,
yes,
$50. If I wouldn't have to go, I would think that in my world that would be money well spent, and I would stay home and watch a Dodger game, and be very happy that I cut that deal.
Yeah,
because I can't watch sporting events on tape delay.
No, I don't either.
I
never do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was Slee and I were
if
having
the game's
that
over, the
other
game's
day.
over. Why am I going
Even
back
if
and
I'm
watching?
And
the
I always laugh when people say, like, I'm out to dinner and somebody says, "Don't tell me what happened in the Dodger game. I'm taping it."
It already happened.
Yeah, it's over. Why would you even bother going back?
Well, here's the thing. Even if let's say, whatever, you go use the bathroom and you pause it, I have to immediately jump up to live action. I can't even be an inning behind.
Yeah,
really?
It's
not what's happening.
Yeah.
I need to be as it's happening. I cannot do it any sort of delay.
I mean, I like to watch it live-ish, but I can be 3 minutes, 4 minutes behind the rest of the world.
Could you watch the NBA Finals and you're in the first quarter and the actual game is in the second quarter?
No, I'll just fast forward.
Yeah,
to the
me
second
too.
quarter.
I'll just go to the.
No, I want to. I want
action.
to see everything that's happened.
Well, you're breaking
Then
down tape for the Locked On Lakers podcast,
And
which has a
speaking of,
YouTube
is there a
component.
YouTube component to that?
There is a YouTube component.
Exactly.
I mean, when people expect to hear from you 5 days a week,
true.
without a paywall, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Where would I find it?
Anywhere you get your podcast, although not Stitcher pretty soon.
Oh yeah, not Stitcher.
Stitcher.
What happened with Stitcher?
Stitcher's.
Is Stitcher over?
Stitcher is going to be over soon, if not over already.
Oh,
wow.
Well, then nobody will be getting their podcast there, so you don't need to worry
Right,
about
exactly. But I'm just letting people know you would have to find a different feed for it. But I have a responsibility to know everything that happened
Yes,
during
you've
the
got to
game.
watch every single minute of the
Exactly.
game. Right. Well, I just want to see it live. I wanted to go back to the Colorado scoreboard guide, which
How about that?
This is Ireland. Did
you
hear
see
this?
that?
Yeah, I heard you talking about it.
Oh my God. That first message is
with the Titanic
with the
sub?
Titanic sub.
Did you think it was
By
a
the way,
local sub chain like
and
Andy
Andy
did?
thought it was a sub chain.
I did.
By the way, who would name a chain of sub shops Titanic?
Titanic.
Well,
because-
Titanic can mean size.
Right, it's big. It's a big sub.
Titanic, a big sub.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's like,
that sub is Titanic.
Oh, it's Titanic.
and
Yeah.
it's shaped like a submarine. Like you would have, if you named this even 6 months ago, you would have had an idea that it's a bad
I
name.
actually-
But it was the more lifeless than the Titanic sub was a giveaway.
Right, you crushed that sub in your stomach. That's
Right.
what I thought Becky did.
Yeah.
I actually admire and applaud the Rockies for letting that guy do what he wants.
No chance.
That you think he did a rogue?
100%.
Oh, you had to.
Because like, have you
100%.
guys follow the LA Kings hockey Twitter
Sure.
account?
They're very funny.
That well, and he crosses. Whoever does that crosses the line sometimes and gets his hand slapped. But I'm glad he keeps coming back for more.
Right.
Because it's a really good follow, and so many people are like just so politically correct in branding, especially with sports teams. I'm glad somebody went. Did you think that guy's been fired? Do we know?
Well, so there's one of two things. It was a guy that worked for the Rockies that basically said, bleep it, I'm just going to let it rip, and it's probably going to cost me my job. Or I would imagine there's a way to hack into that system.
Oh, you're saying somebody might have hacked in, put that message on the board.
Somebody that is not a Rockies employee but is very good at tech figured out a way to post messages on the Rockies video board.
If it is a Rockies employee,
he's done.
You can't make an ad hominem attack on some girl you used
Becky.
today.
Even if she deserved it?
No, even
Becky
if
might have
she
deserved
deserves
it.
Even if she deserves
Isn't
it.
Becky the perfect name for
It
this?
is. She's a Becky.
Becky's perfect.
Yeah, she's a Becky.
No, it's funny. I never even occurred to me that could have been a sanctioned post.
No,
not that one. Not sub being crushed.
Lifeless
Yes.
Titanic sub.
Especially once you learn it's not a sandwich.
Exactly. Once you learn that.
It was a pretty good little backdoor into it with the stethoscope setup to
it was
you
perfect.
don't have a heart.
You just led right into it. It was brilliant.
I'm going to let you guys take it over from here.
Oh, that's right. You got to get out of here.
I got a Henrik appointment, John.
Good.
Yeah?
Which one are you going to?
They're coming to the house to look to see how they want to set some stuff up.
You getting a whole
He's
grill
the
set
best.
up?
It's not a barbecue aisle.
It's a barbecue.
It's a
Yeah,
barbecue
and by the way,
store.
he did that at my house years ago. This is a very good day for you.
I can't
You'll
wait.
use it all the time.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
They're gonna
and
be
he's
there.
a great guy.
They're going to be there
If
shortly.
you toss
so
him some
I'm out.
barbecue equipment, he can actually catch it. We learned.
I heard at the Waffle
you
House.
seen that?
No, I've not seen it.
This
but
woman's Spider-Man.
Yeah, I
Said that
heard.
somebody chucks a chair at her and full. She
just catches
whap,
it?
Just catches
It's
it in the air.
amazing.
Funch, you may know this. This is not uncommon that a fight would happen at a Waffle House, right?
No,
There's lots of fights at Waffle House.
Isn't that like a thing
Yeah,
on
there's-
YouTube? Like if you
it's-
Google Waffle House
If I go to
fights,
Twitter, I see one Waffle House fight a week.
it's that prevalent.
It's that prevalent, yes.
Yeah. It's a tradition.
I love that line in Tin Cup where the girl goes, "I got some Doreen." Kevin Costner's ex-wife says, "I got some money. I thought I'd take everybody to the nice dinner." And all the guys go, "Let's go to the Waffle House." She goes, "We go to the Waffle House every week. I was thinking we'd try something different." And everybody just shoots it down immediately.
Yeah.
No! Why would we try something different?
I'll have scattered and smothered, and now I'm going to kick your ass. Basically, that's the Waffle House.
Waffle House is pretty great, though.
Oh, it is delicious. And that's the thing. It is delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, those hash browns
You got to
are
keep your head on
awesome.
a swivel there, but it's really good.
You never know when the punch is coming, but it's a good sandwich. Or it's good good food.
Here's a dumb question. Let's say the three of us go to the Waffle House.
Okay.
Fight breaks out. One of us gets caught in the shrapnel. All right, we're collateral damage.
It's likely me.
Okay, yeah, probably. Do you at that point, Mace, have a case against the Waffle House, even though they did nothing wrong? It's some rogue table in the corner. They get in a fight. They throw a chair, hit you in the head. You get hurt. Do you have a case against the Waffle House?
Probably. Because if this is as prevalent a thing as you're led to believe by social media, then fighting is something that happens at Waffle Houses, and they've done nothing to crack down on it, and then all of a sudden you're at the receiving end.
I keep reading about these places. I haven't been to one, but I want to go, where they're bars where you can throw axes.
Yeah.
There was one across the street from our hotel in Charlotte, and I meant to get over there, and I never had time. But so if I get drunk and I throw an axe, and it hits Andy, and it hurts you, you obviously have a case against me. Do you have a case against the axe throwing place?
I wonder. I have no idea. I've never been to a place like this either. I wonder.
There's one in North Hollywood.
I wonder if there's any waivers you have to sign just to go in.
Oh, there have to be waivers.
It's like
crazy.
when you go on go-karts. Yeah, probably.
I had to sign a waiver when I was going to swing a sledgehammer and hit that truck at the All-Star softball night.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I would imagine there's a waiver to go into the axe throwing place. It always reminds me of that Carson bit. The one where Ed Ames is throwing this old-time Carson
hits
bit.
him right in the nuts.
Ed Ames hits him right in the nuts when he throws the axe, and then Johnny says, "Ed, I didn't know you were Jewish." It's a great bit. It's on all the Carson all-time highlights.
That is funny. I don't know how YouTube, the algorithm, sent me here.
Yeah.
But there was a clip of the old Carson show with Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor on because they were both promoting. They had TV specials, like hour-long specials, back-to-back, I guess, on NBC. And it was very well known at the time that Richard Pryor and Chevy Chase loathed each other.
Yeah.
Well, Chevy Chase is a crank.
Chevy Chase loathes everybody.
But you could feel the hostility between both of them during this segment where they're both promoting their shows.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, I watched on Politically Incorrect one night, Stephen Bochco and Chevy Chase get into a fight, and it was all Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
It was all. I interviewed Chevy that same night, and he came in totally steaming and was just a crank through the entire interview.
But isn't that his disposition normally?
Pretty much is, yeah. So, today is a special day because it's the day we say farewell to Jorge.
Yeah.
He quit our show. And we immediately seized on the opportunity to grab Brian Cohen.
Yeah.
Now, Brian yesterday demonstrated that he can play Game of Games.
Yeah, he took me down in quadruple overtime.
Brian wins Game of Games yesterday. Big.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, do you have a nickname?
Not really.
Okay, can we call you BC? I like BC as a nickname. Okay, BC.
Yeah.
Let's go BC.
That's easy.
It's all about the branding.
We had heard pre-softball that Brian Cohn was a ringer. Do you
was
consider
good.
him more of a softball ringer or a Game of Games ringer?
Boy, that's close. He was really good in that softball game, but he won Game of Games for the very first time. And here's the amazing thing. If you look at our scoreboard for the month of July, Brian Cohen has won one more time than I have, and he doesn't even work for us yet.
Yeah, that's not surprising. But it is...
and we're going to do Jorge Briones Masterclass Theater.
Are we telling him what it is? We picked it yesterday, right?
You kind of said it yesterday, but I don't think he went and looked it up. But he is going to deliver, as he has before, on speeches like Glengarry Glen Ross, A, B, C, always be closing.
What's the best monologue in a movie?
That might be it.
That
might be it.
That's a really
That's
good
the
one.
best cameo in a movie, because I say cameo because I think Alec Baldwin's in that movie for 6 minutes.
Just that scene.
That's the only scene.
That's the only scene he has. But I think that's right up there with best monologue. The one we picked for Jorge is a great monologue.
Yeah. But Bill Simmons, I love that Rewatchables podcast where they go back over movies, and they have a Dion Waiters Award. And the Dion Waiters Award is somebody that comes in for 10 minutes or less and just steals the movie. You know, that Alec Baldwin's a great example of it.
Great.
Like, I think Jack Nicholson in Broadcast News qualifies.
Yeah, that's really good.
He's in it for less than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
There's
really
a movie. There's a movie called Boiler Room.
I love that movie. Is that Ben Affleck?
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
In that movie, when he comes in, gives that speech, he goes, "What'd you drive here today?"
Yeah, he is basically doing Alec Baldwin in Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yep.
And, it's not as good as that, but it's still pretty good. Like, that's a pretty solid cameo, like a pretty solid speech, monologue, that sort of thing.
It's a great one and this actually may be a cameo also, was Wolf of Wall Street, Matthew McConaughey with the...
It's close. He may be in there longer. No, I don't think
not
he
much.
is.
I think that's his speech.
I think he's under 10 minutes.
Where he's pounding his chest.
I don't
like
think
that.
he's in the movie past maybe the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. So that's another good cameo. And another really good speech.
Yeah, I was watching a movie the other day. I saw it the year it came out. It's probably 7-8 years old. But there are so many big name, small parts in this movie. Have you guys ever seen a Jon Favreau movie called Chef?
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, yeah, it's excellent.
Okay, so there's like 8 Dion Waiter candidates in that. For example, Dustin Hoffman owns the restaurant where Favreau gets fired to start the movie. I'm not spoiling it if you haven't seen it.
It's been
like
8
10
years.
minutes into the movie, he gets in a fight with the owner of the restaurant, played by Dustin Hoffman. Do you remember who the hostess is at the restaurant?
Is it Scarlett Johansson?
Yes. Do you remember who Favreau's ex-wife
Sofia
is?
Vergara.
Oh, Sofia
Do you
Vergara.
remember who bankrolls him?
No.
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember who he goes on the food truck with?
No.
John Leguizamo.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember who replaces him in the restaurant?
No.
Bobby Cannavale.
Jeez.
So it's just
They got
one
tons of
after
people.
another.
By the way, you also know that
after
Favreau...
another. He cashed in all his markers.
Well, he cashed in all his markers, but also, too, he was the one overseeing the whole thing where he ends up in a love triangle of sorts with Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson.
Well, that's the story of any Adam Sandler movie, too. Adam Sandler always runs off with, like, one of those movies.
Drew Barrymore, Jennifer
Salma
Aniston.
Hayek.
Yep, right.
Salma Hayek.
You're right.
Like, it pays to be the movie star who's overseeing the whole movie.
So interesting Salma Hayek tangent. I read the other day that CAA, the agency, is being sold potentially.
Okay.
And the person that's going to buy him is Salma Hayek's husband, who's a billionaire.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He's a French billionaire, I think. And he's going to buy all of CAA, which represents most big actors, a lot of sportscasters, a lot of everybody.
Oh, yeah, everybody.
I assume she is a CAA client. Otherwise, that would be really awkward. And
yeah, if you buy the agency
Although
that your
she's
wife's not
older
with.
than she looks. She looks great. She's 56.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I
Which is
don't
crazy.
know how many more movies she's going to
it
do.
also has nothing to do with what we were talking
No,
about.
it did. In this sense. In this sense, it has. I don't know if she's ever going to be in another movie. She doesn't need to.
Oh, shit. But I
she may
mean, people
want
like
to.
to work. People like People have creative.
If I was married to a billionaire, I'm out.
See, people have creative aspirations. I mean, people
don't
go into acting just for money. They go into acting to make beautiful
let's
stuff.
be honest. Most of the people who make, like, really, truly make it in Hollywood reach a point where they don't have to work fairly early into their careers.
But they choose to.
Right, that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like, Leonardo DiCaprio does not need
has to
keep
work
working.
again. No.
He's doing it because he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder. I was talking to somebody about the strike the other day. Somebody that works in Hollywood, and I said, "Well, in past years, when the big megastars decide it's over, it's over. Like if Clooney and DiCaprio and Cruise decide this is over, is it over?" He goes, "Not this time."
No.
He said, "This time the studios are losing so much money that there is no one person or group of people that could end the strike."
The stars have actually been pretty visibly in their corners,
Yes,
pretty
they have
audibly.
been.
Like Tom Cruise has actually spoken to the unions on behalf of the stunt people.
Yeah. No, and absolutely should. I mean, I got something coming up later on the show that's actually interesting and kind of speaks to that. Look, I think that ultimately that strike was virtually unanimously approved by SAG-AFTRA.
But I'm just saying that in the past, when the big heavy hitters wanted to end it, they could end it. And I don't think that's the case this time.
I don't think they want to. I think there's scary technology out there that has a chance to replace them.
Right. But even with the studio heads, like you could say if Spielberg or Iger or somebody wanted to end it, they could. And now I just think everybody's entrenched.
Yeah, what's weird is Spielberg's the directors are not on strike. It's the writers and it's the actors.
Someone like Spielberg, I think, doesn't like the direction of Hollywood anyway. I mean, he's talked before about this. Like, he doesn't like what's being put into production.
He wants pictures on movie screens and doesn't want them streaming.
And I'm sure, as much as Steven Spielberg has been, a big-time special effects guy, the threat of AI is something that frightens him. Like nobody understands where it's going to go.
No.
Like, nobody has a clue where AI is going to take.
I did hear one good thing, and I know we gotta wrap it up. But I heard today that I read today somewhere that they're 80% in agreement, and the other 20% is doable. So
that's good.
So hopefully it doesn't last too long.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I want to let everyone know that Super Crosstalk was powered by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger's all about. Mason and Ireland coming up next. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.